The Mayorkas hearing that is finally underway. This is after the House vote to formally authorize an impeachment inquiry into Mayorkas for failure to do his job as Secretary of Homeland Security because of what's been happening at the border. And a number of different reasons at the border. One is the amounts, the numbers from the border we're going to go through. The amount of people that have been just let go into the United States. The fact that we're already on track in 2024 to hit record numbers that have never been seen. So we've had record months already starting to come in on that fiscal year. You also, of course, have the drug crisis, the violence, and the cartel violence that's poured over. The drug crisis, the number one killer of Americans between the age of 18 and 45 are the illegal fentanyl drugs coming across mainly the southern border, where they are produced, some of them in China, then taken into Mexico, put into some kind of sellable form, and then taken across the border by drug cartels.
We've got two pieces of litigation against the Department of Homeland Security, and that involves everything from the disinformation campaigns that were being instituted by them, and also some of the catch and release and some of the information there, and terrorists coming over the southern border. So this situation with Mayorkas is serious. Our ACLJ action went to work on it. I think we've generated, Jordan, right now over 5,000 letters to Congress on this.
That's right. And that just began yesterday afternoon. If you're on the ACLJ Action email list, you would have gotten that email to send a letter to your member of Congress to act now, encouraging. This is separate from we first did a campaign to open up this inquiry.
It's a very important issue for the country. It's not going away anytime soon. And we here at ACLJ Action want you to voice how important this issue is to you. And we want you to make sure that you can contact members of Congress to let them know how much this matters to you. I know the more, I once was in a congressional office, and my job was to review the mail the congressman got. And I can tell you for a fact that every letter the congressman gets, he is made aware of. And the more letters congressman gets on a specific subject, the more they want to focus on that subject. So if you go to acljaction.org, as Jordan mentioned, on our homepage, our Impeach Mayorkas campaign should be very prominently displayed, very easy to click on it. You type in some information, and in about 2 more clicks, your member of Congress is made aware of your concern on the issue. So please, if you have not already, take time and go and do that.
When you look at impeachment, it's usually for high crimes and misdemeanors, right? I mean, that's the kind of the standards. What's the basis upon which areas you see it here that justifies the impeachment of Mayorkas?
He has abused his authority. Number 2, he's engaged in a dereliction of its constitutional duty to protect the American people. Number 3, he has exposed the American people to a fentanyl crisis, to a child sex trafficking crisis, and his efforts in this arena have been willful and deliberate. It's not a mistake. In other words, basically, the Biden administration has opened the floodgates and has exposed the American people to harm, and as such, he ought to be impeached quickly.
These series of hearings is proceeding at an opportune time. I think that when the resolution was initially introduced in November, there were some people who were a little hesitant. I know 8 Republicans sided with Democrats to send the impeachment vote back to committee. But I think that a lot of the more moderate Republicans that were concerned about this before, now that a comprehensive investigation has been conducted by the committee, and they've seen a little bit more of the evidence for themselves, and it's gone through the appropriate processes, I think that they can stand pretty united behind this impeachment. So I think it's full steam ahead.
You can go now to ACLJ Action, and you'll see right on the homepage where you can send that letter to your member of Congress. And it's, again, a very quick way to do it, as quick as you want it to be, or you can take time and add some of your own language as well. All of this work at the ACLJ, some you can plan for, others that you can't, which is why having ACLJ champions, recurring donors, is so important. So if you go to aclj.org/champions now, we want you to choose an amount you're comfortable with donating. It automatically happens each month. And it's a way for us then to look and to say, hey, we know this is coming in this month. So if something happens that isn't planned for, the ACLJ can still be at the tip of the spear.